Welcome to Energy, Tarot, Tea and Astrology readings. I'm Leslie Levy, and today's reading we're focusing on the full moon in Aquarius, which will occur in Australia on the 4th of August, which is this coming Monday. I hope you enjoy the reading. So I'm just going to turn the camera around so that you can see the reading table and see the cards as they are laid out.
So let's have a look at the astrology for the full moon, which will occur precisely at 1:58 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on the 4th of August this year, which is Tuesday. Remember, if you're in a different part of the world or a different part of Australia where the time zones are different and you want to check the exact time of the full moon, just go onto one of the time conversion sites and you will be able to see the local time for the full moon for you. So we have the full moon in Aquarius. So the full moon is at its energy peak. It is at its brightest, at its strongest. It has the highest reflection of the sun. So this is a time where things culminate, where things reach their peak. So anything that you put into play at the start of the new moon a couple of weeks ago will now be coming to fruition before the moon then starts to wane and ease off. Now, the full moon in Aquarius is about friends, it's about groups. Aquarius is about the bigger things in life. It is about being an advocate. It's sometimes about being a rebel. Aquarian energy is very innovative. And so this is a sign where people will get up and protest about something they believe in. So with the full moon in Aquarius, it is really taking the time now to shine the light on what your point of view is about the larger things that are happening in life, whether it be about politics, whether it be about what's happening with COVID-19, your values. This is the time to really shine a light on what you feel about that and what it is that you are prepared to stand up for and advocate for. Now it's in opposition, which means it's opposite, literally opposite. The sun and the moon are literally opposite each other in the sky, and the sun is in Leo. Now Leo, the sun is at home in Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. So it is very, very happy there. And Leo is about having courage. It's about having energy, lots of enthusiasm. Leos know how to play and they're very creative. So with the sun in Leo, opposition the full moon in Aquarius, being innovative as well, this is a really good time to think outside the box, to really look at things from a different perspective, be innovative, be creative in how you think about what's happening in the world and what you really think and feel about it. Now the sun in Leo is also trining, which means that they're in harmony, and it's trining Mars in Aries. Now Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries is another fire sign. Leo is fixed fire. It has that strong, long-burning fire, that bonfire. And we have Mars in Aries, which is like that starting fire where things ignite. So Mars in Aries, things happen quickly here. There's lots of passion here. There's lots of energy, and there's this instinct to just get out there and go. Think of the fireman rushing into the fire to save the baby. That is at its most positive aspect. At its most negative aspect is climbing a mountain without being prepared, without looking at the consequences. So there's a lot of energy, and it's interesting that we have both planets in the signs that they rule. So this harmony is very, very strong for getting out there and doing at the moment, particularly around what it is that you have strong opinions about, that you have strong feelings about with this full moon. Now Mars in Aries is also squaring Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Capricorn and is also retrograde. So what is a square? A square means that there is a challenge between these two areas, these two planets. Now Jupiter is the greater benefic. It is about optimism, good fortune, success, luck, all that kind of thing, expansion. It's outward, it's very expansive, so therefore very generous. But Jupiter is in Capricorn, and Jupiter, when it's in Capricorn, is quite weak. It's not a strong planet there. And so our usual optimism and expansiveness that we might feel is curtailed. There's a bit of a boundary around it, because Capricorn is about boundaries. It's about structure. It's about the practical things in life. And being retrograde, it's saying that, you know, the practical things that we have to look at in life are going to curb our enthusiasm a little bit, going to curb our ability to be out there, to be generous, to be optimistic. And with it squaring Mars, it's saying that whilst we've got great energy to jump in and do things, it really is about looking at the practicalities of what it is that we're looking to jump into, and not to overindulge or be overly optimistic in a way that's not realistic, if that makes sense. Then we also have Saturn in Capricorn in retrograde. Now, Saturn also rules Capricorn. It is very much at home there. So again, this is another strong energy. Saturn is about our wisdom through experience. It's also about taking responsibility for ourselves and for others. And it's also about self-discipline and discipline for others. So it's kind of a restricting, containing planet. And being in Capricorn, it's about us being very practical and taking responsibility for the practical things that we need to do in life. We also have Saturn in opposition to Mercury in Cancer. Now, we've got Mercury in Cancer. Mercury is about our thought processes, thinking, quick movement, quick communication. And being in Cancer, this means that it's about communication around family and home. And also memories from the past are coming back to surface. So with this being in opposition to Saturn in Capricorn, again, there's going to be some restriction. There's going to be some self-discipline required in how we communicate with family on this day. And it's also about how we think. We're going to be slowing down our thinking processes. You know, our quick thinking is going to be a little slower because Saturn is opposing it. It's making things tense between them. Then we also have Venus in Gemini, and Venus in Gemini is very positive here. Venus is about our relationships, about our creativity, and Gemini is again about that fast thinking, about learning. It's about our education on, not about the deeper things in life, but our education on the everyday things in life. Gemini is also about socializing, you know, the social butterfly. And so what this is saying is that, you know, for the full moon, this is a really good time to be creative with your ideas, which supports the sun in Leo in terms of creativity and putting it out there as well. So what I'm seeing here with Venus in Gemini is this is a great time to get the creative ideas and really bring them to light with this full moon around what you have opinions on, what is important to you, and how you put it out there in the world. So that's just a little overview. So let's move on to our tarot reading for it, with our Astro tarot reading for this 4th of August in Australia. And remember, if you're in a different part of the world, it could be the 3rd of August, Monday for you. So we're going to place a card for each planet and see how it plays out. So we're just going to shuffle the deck. And we're just going to put a card on each planet and see what we have. Oops. So because it is the full moon, we're going to start with the full moon today. So let's turn that card over. So yeah, with the full moon, we've got the 3 of Pentacles with this full moon in Aquarius. And so this is saying that it really is time to get some structure around what it is that you believe, what is important to you. And it is about seeking advice, getting opinions from other people. It's not just about your own opinion, it's about reaching out, because remember, Aquarius is also about doing things with friends and in groups. So to help you to come to your own conclusion about things, it is good to talk it through with others. Get their thoughts and opinions, particularly someone else who is more knowledgeable on the subject that you're looking at. Let's move over to Sun in Leo. So with this card, we have the 6 of Swords reversed. When this card is upright, this is about someone who's moving from troubled waters, because we can see the water here, and someone is helping someone move away into calmer times. And it is around thinking processes and opinions once again, because we have the swords. Swords are about communication. And it's saying to me that there is no change, that things are going to stay pretty much the same. You're going to be enthusiastic about the opinions that you already hold, and you're going to steer your own thoughts, your own opinions. And that is in opposition to this seeking of advice. So the suggestion for you around this is to really take time to seek advice, talk to others, and then from there form your own opinions. So let's see what we have for Mars in Aries. Mars in Aries, we have the Magician reversed. And so this is saying, look, you know, it's time not to be quite so willful. You know, the magician creates his own future. He has all the skill sets to do it. And this is saying that you really don't have enough information at the moment to form the opinions that you need to for this full moon. So it is, and because it is squaring through our Jupiter, it is time to just not rush in where angels fear to tread. It is time to look at what it is that you do know, what it is that you do have, and don't just rush ahead taking action. We have Jupiter in Capricorn, and we have Page of Pentacles reversed. Now, pages are about new small beginnings. They can be about messages coming to you from others, and because it's Pentacles, it's about the practical things in life. It's about money. So what this is saying to me is that, again, there's no forward movement. It really is about not taking action, not even small action. It's more about taking thoughtful action, about action around what it is that you think, what your opinions are, rather than taking physical action at the moment. With Saturn in Capricorn, we have the Two of Wands upright. And so what this is saying is that it is really time for you to slow down. Slow down and assess what is going on in your world and start making plans rather than just jumping in willy-nilly, which will not be successful for you at this time. It really is time to look at the big picture. And with full moon in Aquarius, again, a great time for looking at the big picture, because Aquarius is more about the masses, the global, people worldwide, not just within your own circle. So this is time for you to look at the big picture of what is going on in your life, with your friends and with the world in general, to see how you are going to respond and act. And then we have Mercury in Cancer. So even though we have Saturn opposing Mercury, which means there's some tension between looking at these big plans and what your family needs, it's not as big a tension as you might think. This is a good time to be in conversation with your family. This is a good time to look at things that have happened in the past and look at them from a new perspective as well. And that's going to make communication with the family much more positive. So this is a really, really good sign here. And then we're going to look at Venus in Gemini. We've got the devil, and what comes to my mind is the devil in the detail. So just be aware that whatever creative plans you're coming up with, whatever creative ideas you're coming up with, just be aware to just look at the detail a little more closely, and just make sure that you're not putting yourself or creating an idea that you're going to be putting into play that will actually hold you back, that will actually constrict you and contain you. So this is about being practical with Capricorn here. So we want to be practical about how we come up with our creative ideas, and socializing, obviously with COVID, is still somewhat restricted, but that's about how you can use it to your own advantage. Now let's add some tea charms to all of these. Let's see where we go. So I'm just going to put a charm on each card, and we'll see what comes out. Okay, so with the full moon in Aquarius and the Three of Pentacles, we have the moth, and moths are attracted to the light, and being a full moon, we have the most reflected light from the sun possible. So this is about opening up to other people's opinions. It is shining a light on what others have to say so that you can then form your own opinion more fully and more factually, because Aquarians love to know the facts. We come back to the sun in Leo, and we have the lady, the head of the lady. She's actually the Egyptian Pharaoh's wife, Nefertiti. And so what this is saying to me is that there is someone, a female, that you can trust. There is someone who has great knowledge around what it is that you're trying to bring to light, and you can trust that person to give you good information that you can then make your own decision around. Coming over to Mars and Aries, we've got the bee. Bees are busy buzzing. And so what this is saying to me again is slow down. Don't jump from flower to flower, getting all different types of pollen from each flower. This is about slowing down. Here we have the feather. And so the feather with Jupiter in Capricorn this is about being a little bit more light-hearted than you have been. This is about letting things just go with the flow. Wherever the feather floats, let it flow, let it happen. Try to avoid controlling, because Mars in Aries can be very, very controlling, but we've got the Magician reverse. So it's about releasing the will, releasing the control, and allowing things to come into play around the practicalities of your life. Now here, I'm going to turn it around this way. We have the park bench. And this is just reaffirming that it really is time for a bit of self-discipline, to take responsibility, to look at the big picture of what it is that you are forming an opinion about or have a point of view about. It is about just sitting down. You know, people go and sit in the park and stare at the sky and gaze at their surroundings. And it is time for you to do that. It is time to stop. Even though you have all this amazing energy here, this amazing energy is more about your thinking processes, your opinions, rather than physically getting out and doing at the moment. And here with Mercury in Cancer, around communication and your thinking around the family, the sun is coming out from behind the clouds. And I know with Cancer, 2 Cancer moons in June and July, and also with being in the sign of Cancer up until about the 21st, 22nd of July, it's all been about the family, and it has been shining a light on family issues, past and present. And now there's going to be some release of that. There's going to be an easing up of that. But that's provided that you don't go overboard with forming opinions about the family without talking to them and without seeing where they're at. There is a good outcome here. Now, while the devil looks like a very nasty card, in this instance, it is about unlocking new ideas, new creative ideas, and not getting bound up by what you already believe, what you already think is the truth, what you already think is fact. That is just going to imprison you. This is about opening up and looking at new ideas in a completely different way, which is highlighted by the Two of Wands. So I hope this has been of help to you. We're just going to do a little summary around this full moon for the 4th of August here in Australia. It is time to have a look once again at what your opinions are about what's going on in your own world, what's going on in the world in general. And there is a lot of energy and enthusiasm for you to be able to do that. But it is about talking to others and seeking advice, not imposing your own will, and not just jumping in and taking action for the sake of being busy. It is about taking the time to let things float. Let things float where they are meant to go, so that you can see this big picture, contemplating it in a new way. This is going to open up the way for better communication with your family. About your ideas about family, about things that have happened with the family in the past. And even though there's some tension here, the cards are showing me that this is looking quite positive. And then, of course, when it comes to that creativity from Leo, it is about not being bounded by what you've previously thought, to unlock new ways of thinking so that you can move ahead with new thoughts, new opinions, and in the future take action. Until next time, namaste.